It's these warm and fuzzy feelings about the past, feeling that things were maybe better before, or the good old days, that type of thing. But when we're in the good old days, we don't feel like we're in the good old days. And why is that? It's because nostalgia is this thing that it's basically remembering a period of time in your life, but being removed from the emotion of it and the anxiety of it and the feelings that you were feeling at the time and the noise that was there at the time. If you've ever felt like you were destined for more, you're in the right place. It's time to break out of the box you've been placed in. The world is waiting for your light. Hey friend, it's Agnes. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Mindful Living with Agnes T. I'm so glad you're here. As I thought about the topic that I wanted to discuss today, I find myself in a little bit of a creative slump, and that's probably due to the fact that we have just a lot going on with end of the year things with kids at school, and my younger son, is graduating the 8th grade. So next year I'll have 2 boys in high school. And for some reason that makes me really, really emotional. It feels like the end of an era. It feels like I just can't believe we're here, like when they're little. And when I was a young mom, it felt like those days were endless, and they were so long and they were so hard and so busy, and you can't ever see how you'll ever get out of that. It just seems like it's a never-ending situation. And then one day you find yourself on the other side of it, and you don't really know how you got there. And everyone always says it's gonna go quick, enjoy it all. And you don't believe them, but then it really does. You look back and you think, gosh, it was just like yesterday. And oftentimes we get stuck in these feelings of feeling that things were maybe better before, or the good old days, that type of thing. But when we're in the good old days, we don't feel like we're in the good old days. And why is that? And it's because nostalgia is this thing that it's basically remembering a period of time in your life, but being removed from the emotion of it and the anxiety of it and the feelings that you were feeling at the time and the noise that was there at the time. I sometimes laugh and say that the reason why pictures of little babies are so cute, and when you look at the old picture albums, you think it's so adorable, is because there's no sound to a picture, because little kids are usually so loud and there's always screaming and crying. But when you look at the picture, you just see the cute face, and so you're removed from the sound. But in the same way, when we feel nostalgic, we're removed from the emotion, the negative emotion of the time, and we're only focused on sort of remembering the moment itself. So this truly is, by definition, what it means to be present. If you're truly present in a moment, you can remove yourself, detach yourself from expectations, from feelings, from how you think it should have went, or the bad mood that you were put into, or being tired. All of those types of emotions that are thrown into all of our moments of our lives, if we can somehow detach ourselves from the emotion, we can just feel the present moment, and it can feel like nostalgia all the time. And so this is a challenge. How do you remove yourself from emotions? How do you remove yourself from expectations? How do you fully embrace the present moment without thinking about mourning the past, feeling the pain of the past, or feeling the anxiety of the future, of what might be, or how things are going to work out, or if they're going to work out, or am I going to be able to afford this? Am I going to be able to do all the things that I want to do? Is time running out? All of these sort of emotions that we have all the time, and these thoughts. People call it the monkey brain that just will not stop talking, that's constantly gibbering and clamoring. And it's that noise. How do we quiet the noise and fully become present to each and every moment? Because each and every moment is all that we ever have. We never have actually tomorrow. We never have yesterday. You never wake up and say, here I am, I'm in the future. Even though when you think back on your life, you can see clearly that you are in the future. You can see clearly that things that you wanted many, many years ago, or things that you thought about, or things that you dreamed about, you actually have a lot of those things. So you are in your own future, but you never really feel that because there truly is no future. There's just only now. Every now moment is the only moment that you have. To fully understand that and remember that will give you a lot of freedom, because when you're thinking about how things used to be or hoping for how things can one day be, you completely miss out on this present day moment, and you lose all your power, because all your power is in the right now. You don't have any power in your past or your future. You just have power in whatever's going on right now, and how you choose to show up, and how you choose to serve, and how you choose to be present with the people that you're with. That's all you truly ever have. And so when I go through moments like today, where, I'm emotional just talking about it, so that tells me that I still have a lot of work to do to fully embrace the present moment. Many, many times we tend to undervalue what we have, and we overvalue what we don't have. Let's get back into a mode of gratitude. Let's start valuing what we have. Let's start overvaluing what we actually do have, and focus on those things. And so that we can stop being sentimental about a past that we're sort of highlighting in our minds and thinking that maybe the good old days are behind us. The best is yet to come. We're always growing. We're always expanding. We're constantly evolving. You can't not be. If you're not expanding and you're not evolving and you're not growing, then you're dying. So as long as you're alive and as long as you're here, you are growing and expanding. But it's your choice of the direction that your growth takes. It's your choice if you wish to go at a faster pace, or you wish to put a lot of resistance to your growth. You know you're in resistance because that's when you don't feel good. That's when you feel sad. That's when you feel, super down. You don't have a lot of energy. Those are your key indicators that you're in resistance. It's important to center yourself and ground yourself and remind yourself where your power is, and that is in this now exact moment. I was actually listening to the audiobook of the Eckhart Tolle book, The Power of Now, and it was really funny. I got a little chuckle out of it because I was listening to The Power of Now during my walks, and I thought how very ironic of me to be listening to a book about being present while multitasking. I usually listen to audiobooks when I'm either cooking or cleaning or walking. And sometimes, those mundane things that we usually tend to multitask over, you realize that they're not so mundane at all, that there's actually power in those moments if you put all of your attention and your energy into that thing that you're doing, even if it's just cleaning up. But these reminders are great for me because they highlight to me where I still need to grow. And so it's important that you remember that there's no such thing as a bad feeling or a bad emotion or a bad thought. It's all just a reflection of where you still have growth to do. So the fact that I was sort of thrown into this slump for a week now, and I'm contributing it to this sort of changing season in my life, I know that I still have work to do there. And so it's important to just give gratitude and say, thank you, universe, for showing me this. Thank you for highlighting this for me. Thank you for reflecting this back to me. In the past, I would have beat myself up over it. Like, why am I feeling this way? What is wrong with me? I have tools. Why aren't I using them? Why am I getting into a slump? I know better. I could do better, be better, you know? And so I would go into that cycle, which only made it worse. So instead of doing that, it's important to say, wow, thank you. Thank you for reflecting this back to me. Then give yourself a minute to wallow in those feelings if you need to. Wallow in them as long as it feels good to wallow in them. And then just dust off. Dust off and do something that'll ground you. Just getting outside and planting your feet on the grass and feeling the sun on your face and feeling the wind on your skin can be enough to ground you. Ask for guidance, ask for clarity, give thanks for the reflection that you've received already, but be willing to move forward. Be willing to move through the feeling and not sit in it. That is where we can use these emotions and these dips and these slumps to serve us. I recently saw this flower that was blooming. I don't remember what the name of the flower was, but it was like a time lapse of a flower expanding and growing. And as it was expanding, with each time that it expanded, it retracted a little bit. So the petals, they retracted a little bit and then opened up, and then retracted a little bit, but not quite as much as the first time, and opened up more. And it kept doing that, and it kept getting larger and larger, but with each bout of growth, there was a little bit of retraction. And I think that's how it is for us as humans as well. If we are willing to give more gratitude for the time when we're in retraction, instead of just condemning it, it can serve us so much more. See it as a part of nature. See it as a part of the cycle. See it as proof that you're growing, that you're one step closer to your highest potential. Also remember, things don't inherently really have a meaning at all. Like today marks a big day, but today is really no more of a bigger day than any other day. Each day has the same value and quality as any other day. Sometimes we put emphasis on those big milestone days like weddings and graduations, the day you buy your first home. So we remember those days because we put a lot of emphasis and a lot of celebration to that day. But in reality, each day holds the same amount of value, and no day is any better or any worse. For me to feel sad about a loss of something because today marks the day where the era ends, that's actually incorrect, because yesterday also marked a day, and the day before that, and the day before that, and tomorrow will also be a mark of another era that ended. So there's really no such thing as an important day. All days are important. All moments are important. When you begin to think that way, it helps you to be more centered and more grounded and more in the present moment, which is where you hold all your power. Let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know if you're going through similar things. If this brings up a memory for you, or this sparks an idea or a question, please comment below. Please subscribe and help me grow this channel. I have the intention of bringing so much more content here. I have big plans, and your support means the absolute world to me. So thank you. I appreciate all the comments. I read every single one of them. Even the negative ones. I always thought that negative comments would like really crush me and bring me down. But ever since I started seeing everything as a reflection of what's actually going on inside of me, I know that any comment that comes through is actually something that I am personally either dealing with knowingly or unknowingly, that now has been highlighted to me that I can work through. because it would be completely impossible for a comment to come through if it wasn't something that was already residing inside of me, an area where I need to grow or find more understanding in. So it's been surprising that ever since I started thinking that way, I actually am not affected at all by any sort of like quote unquote negative comment. And I love all of them. I love them all, because when I get them, that's when I know that there's impact happening. There's a conversation. And with the conversation comes more growth. And so it's just awesome. I'm just really, really excited about it. So thank you. I appreciate your support, and we'll see you in the next video.